going on, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Riaz, bringing you guys this 10-game slate here on Monday. So this is going to be an awesome day for NBA. Monday always is. Like I said, 10 games here, huge amount of player pool to choose from. So sometimes we get like a 6 game or like a 5 game or sometimes even less than that. So Mondays are always nice for the NBA. Want to thank you guys for tuning into the NFL video yesterday. That video absolutely smashed. So I love to see that. So let's try to shoot for a big goal here in this video. Let's try to go 40 likes on this video. Monday's a big day for NBA. So if you guys can do that, that'd be awesome. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. We're still running our giveaway here. So we're going to be giving away a $50 Visa gift card today at 6 p.m. Eastern time over in the Discord. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and hop in the Discord and you're in. So we went really good on NFL yesterday. People were cashing in the Discord. We ran 6 for 7 on our picks with one push, so that was awesome to see. So let's keep this thing rolling on NBA today. Like I said, huge games, huge slate. So no better way to just hop right into it. But also, if this is your first time joining us, we do Prize Picks videos for NBA and NFL. Like I said, we do NBA every day besides Sunday, and we do NFL games on Sunday. Sometimes we cover the Thursday night slate. But if it's a big game, we'll do Thursday nights. And then you can sign up using promo code UPSTATE for Prize Picks, and you get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. So if you deposit 100 and get 100 back to play with, you can mix and match sports on Prize Picks. There's a lot of different ways to play. Super simplified daily fantasy sports website that we have been loving to play. People in the Discord have been loving to play. Our viewers love it. We love it. So let's go. Let's keep this thing rolling. And we got points today. Riyad's is going to kick us off.
I really like two guys here, but the first guy I'm going to talk about is Mo Bamba playing against Golden State. His line sitting at 10.5. I just love targeting Golden State. I'll probably continue to target centers against this team because they just have such a big problem guarding them. And the fact that there's two great centers in this matchup with Bamba and Wendell Carter Jr., I don't mind either or. I like the discount here with Bamba at 10.5, and it's kind of sitting right around his average. I mean, he's averaging 11 points, but he doesn't have the deep ball that Wendell Carter has. I mean, he shoots occasionally, but he's only shooting 34% and just really low amount of shots from three. But really, he's gonna take advantage down low. He's gonna get a lot of offensive putbacks, a lot of pick and roll with Cole Anthony. That's really gonna set him up really well in this game. And honestly, I could see him getting 7, 8 right at the end of the first half. And I think both these guys are gonna absolutely go off in this game. So I don't mind either of them. I like more Bamba on the discount.
Yeah, I think between Mo Bamba and Wendell Carter, I think that Draymond Green's gonna have to step out and guard Wendell Carter because he's been shooting a lot of mid-range shots from like the elbow, and then he can step out and hit the three too. So Draymond's gonna have a workload tonight dealing with Wendell Carter, and Mo Bamba's gonna have a lot of opportunity on the inside to get some shots up. So I like Mo Bamba here in that spot compared to Wendell Carter. So I'm gonna scroll all the way back up to the top. A guy I like here is Miles Bridges. So with all the injuries on Charlotte, not necessarily injuries, but with the people that are listed out on Charlotte between LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier, I like Miles Bridges here. So he put up 16 shots last game. Same with Gordon Hayward. They both put up the same amount of shots. But between the two, I like Miles Bridges more because they're on a back-to-back here. And I think Bridges is just the younger guy. And, well, he obviously is the younger guy. And he's got just, like, fresh legs. And I think that they're going to give him a little bit more run tonight compared to Hayward. I think they need people to play here. I think Hayward's still going to get solid run, but I think Bridges should still play around 35 to 38 minutes here, and he's got a little bit of a higher floor than Hayward this season. I know Hayward's the bigger name here, and you just expect Hayward, to have a higher floor than what he has, but he's had games this season where he's only put up 1 point, 2 points, so he has a low floor so far this season, but we've seen Bridges even with LaMelo Ball and Rozier, and he's had 35-point games, absolutely smashing this season. I'm going to ride with Bridges here against Philly over 19.5.
Definitely coming off that 32-point game, and like you touched on, because of the COVID protocol, the two top guys are really out. So they had a tough game against Atlanta too, and the fact that he played 40 minutes, didn't really look tired, looked awesome, and like you said, he's put up monster games with both those guys in, with LaMelo Ball going off early. And Bridges started off the season really well this year too, and he's kind of carried it throughout the up to this point, really. So, love Bridges here at over 19 and a half.
You want to go over to rebounds, or is there anyone else in points that you like?
Yeah, we'll kick it over to rebounds.
So for rebounds, really, we've been kind of on the same guys all season. So we're gonna go all the way back down to the bottom. And Wendell Carter Jr. is the guy that sticks out for me the most. We've been on him a lot so far with this rebounding prop. It's weird to see these Orlando names all the way down at the bottom of the screen. Usually they're playing in the early, like 7 o'clock game. But here, Wendell Carter in this late game at 9.5 looks really well. We know the ceiling for him, 16 rebounds. We've seen him even go for higher games than that. So we've seen him doing it against tough centers. We've seen him doing it against teams that don't rebound the ball well. So far this season, over especially over the last like 7, 8 games, like he's really been killing the boards. So he's at 9.5. Some games he does only get 10, but I think here against Golden State should be a safer matchup for him. So I like him here 9.5, especially coming off that nice game against Houston.
He's in just a great spot, and I would love to go Bamba here at the discount with the 8.5, but he really hasn't been grabbing the boards. I mean, he kind of fluctuates from having just a monster game where he grabs 14, 15 boards to then only grabbing 6 or 7. But Wendell Carter Jr. has been super steady with grabbing the boards. I mean, he is averaging just about 10, so this line's sitting right at his average, but just the last 10, 8 games. He's hit this over only every single time besides two games. So that's just a great kind of hit rate there for you. And another guy that I kind of like here, it's kind of a weird pick, and that's Dwayne Dedman. With all the injuries still going on, with the Heat, he's still gonna get a good amount of run. We know Bam is definitely out, so Dedman is going to get the start. And I just really like the matchup against Memphis. I mean, we know there's Jared Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams, but Steven Adams doesn't play a ton of minutes, and Jared Jackson Jr. doesn't really grab that many boards. So I like the spot Dedman's in, especially that his line is at 8, and he just had a great game against Milwaukee where he grabbed 13 boards, which is really nice to see. Especially if Butler misses, that's just more chances for him to grab a bunch of boards. I don't really see Tyler Hero grabbing any that many boards, or Kyle Lowry, so he's going to be the main guy down there. Just really cleaning up everything for this team.
Yeah, I think the minutes is what is questionable here for Dwayne Dedman. I think even if Butler plays, I still like Dedman here in the spot because Bam is definitely going to be out. Even on a back-to-back, we saw Dedman play, around 24 minutes, which is nice to see. This spot against Memphis doesn't scare me at all, really. This should be, I want to say this is probably going to be a tight game. I think Dedman's going to get a solid amount of run here. Over 8 is a nice spot for him because getting 13 against Milwaukee, I think this is very impressive to see him in that spot. So like him here against this Memphis team. And then I don't know, we were talking about the Orlando guys. Realistically, all of them have been rebounding the ball pretty well. Like even Cole Anthony goes out there and gets 7, 8 rebounds. Podol, we were on him before too, and Podol looks solid, being at 9. I didn't want to highlight him, but he's just a consistent like 10 and 10, 10 and 12. So he's not a bad spot to look at. But we're gonna hop over to assists, man, and I got a weird pick. I haven't been on him once this season, and I'm going back to this Orlando game and this Orlando team. And this is Franz Wagner. He's at 2.5 here. And if you just look at his last 5 games, he's been killing this lately. So for him to be at 2.5, like he's been playing pretty well this season. I think he's been playing a lot better over these last 10 games as of late. There's been a couple games this season where he has put up a goose egg and has put up none. But over his last 6 games, he's hit this over, hit the over every time. Been getting 4 and then been getting 5. I think with the return, I think when Cole Anthony was out, he started to get a little bit more confidence in his game. And then now that he's back, they're starting to flourish a little bit. He's been one of the most impressive rookies, in my opinion. Been flying under the radar a little bit. But like I said, he's not the playmaker on this team, really. But for him to be at 2.5 with the amount of run he gets, around 34, 35 minutes, I think this is an easy spot for him to get over here.
Without a doubt. The guy that I'm on is DeJounte Murray. His line's sitting at 6.5. That's just way too low for me. If you just look at his last five, he had seven against Golden State in a really close game towards the end, and then he had 13 against Portland, 8 against Washington. He didn't get there against Boston. But he had 11 against Atlanta, and like I touched on before, I mean he's averaging 8 assists. That's kind of where he gets to every single night. I'm not really sure where this discount's coming from. I know Chris Paul is a great defender, so he might try to lock up Dejounte Murray, but with Derek White shooting the ball much better, even guys coming off the bench like Vessel, Doug McDermott, and even Thaddeus Young that comes in and he gets run with them. There's just great playmakers all around him where he can rack up just a ton of assists. And not only that, they don't really need him to score that much. We know the presence he brings, averaging almost 20 points a game. But Dejounte Murray is just an unbelievable playmaker, and he just goes out there and looks for his team, which kind of sets him up for his shot. So I love Dejounte Murray over 6.5 assists here.
Been on him a lot so far this season too. I really like him in this spot. Going against this Phoenix team. And I think, like I said, the Spurs have been playing well against good teams. Like, if they play a bad team, the game could go really either way. But once they play a really good team, they play up to their competition. So I like San Antonio in the spot. Maybe not to win the game, but Murray's the best player on that team. So I like Murray in the spot to flourish. I'm not sure what he's at for his points. He usually hovers around 17, 18 and a half, but I prefer his assists here compared to his points. We'll go to three pointers made. And there's a couple guys here that are just strictly shooters. We've been on Derek White for a little bit, and he's been playing well. The volume of threes is there. Him at 1.5 looks intriguing. And then, I don't know. There's a couple guys here that just look really solid. I think between Miles Bridges and Hayward, uh, it's just like it's a toss up, man. There's a lot of guys. Is there anyone that you wanted to highlight here, Riaz?
Yeah, you kind of touched on both of them. Like going back here to Derek White, he's hit f- four out of the last five, four straight. He's just been shooting the ball well, and not only that, when he gets scoring, I mean, he was only 2 for 5, 2 for 6 last game against the Warriors, but he was 7 for 11 from the field, which was great to see early on until he started chucking up threes. But we know the volumes there, and I just can't seem to fade him at 1.5 when he just continues to hit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've been on him. He looks solid too. I mean, hopefully Cade Cunningham can start shooting the ball a little bit better. Like he hasn't been shooting it great. But there's a couple guys here that look very good. Besides for Derek White, no one that I like particularly wanted to highlight. So we'll take Derek White on the over. We'll hop over to fantasy score. I know Miles Bridges looks really low, and he looks really good. Honestly, I prefer him in the points, but he's a guy at 36.5, in a solid spot where he's going to be the focal point of that offense. Really like him there too. Is there anyone else here for you, Riaz?
I do like Miles Bridges just on the fact that we've seen him get over this with everyone in the starting rotation, and 36.5 is way too low. Definitely coming off 32 actual points last game, but really other than that, I don't mind any of these Memphis guys. I think this game's going to stay pretty close. It's going to be pretty high scoring, and then I was on Deadman a couple nights ago, and he was right around this number. And when he played Milwaukee Saturday actually, and he got over that. He had 27 and a half. You just kind of look for a little more scoring out of him because we know he's going to grab 10, 11 boards any given night that he gets that amount of runs. So that's not a bad play.
So we don't have any lines for this Milwaukee and Cleveland game. However, all these Cleveland guys have literally been smashing. Garland looks absolutely really good in this spot. Rubio, not really going to be on him. Mobley, he's a guy that can do a lot for you in terms of on the defensive side of the ball. And he can score the ball, put the ball in the bucket a little bit too. But Garland, he's just been killing it. He's got a tough matchup against Holiday. Milwaukee's very good, but Cleveland's good themselves too, and this is a game that Cleveland could make a statement really on the whole league and say, hey, we're here. We want to make a run into the playoffs, and we want to be a team that's respected. And look at Jared Allen, his last 5 games, just absolutely smashing that 37.5 fantasy score line. If he doesn't deal with foul trouble tonight, he's one of the guys that look the best here on this Cleveland team going against Milwaukee. So I'll wait to see how those lines pop out. Obviously you can hop in the Discord and we can talk about that when those lines officially drop. So I think that'll wrap things up for us, man. Is there anything else you want to say, Riaz?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely touched on it with Jaron Allen. I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks are definitely a team hurting at the center spot. We know they play Bobby Portis a lot at the center, but Jared Allen has been going off. I mean, he showed actually last night against Gobert. I mean, he had 42 fantasy score, and it seemed like no one could stop him scoring. I mean, he had 17 points pretty easily. So definitely like Jared Allen as well.
No doubt, man. So I think I covered everything right in the start of the video between the giveaway and everything like that. So if you still haven't signed up yet, well, if you still haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe and then hop in the Discord and then you're entered. Like I said, 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will be giving away the $50 Visa gift card. So holiday season, everyone can use a little bit of help around. So we want to give back to you guys. You guys been killing it for us. We're on the road to 1,000 subs, which is crazy to say. So let's smash that before the new year hits. We want to get that before the new year. That would be an amazing achievement for the channel and for Riaz and I. So thank you guys. Let's hit some cash tonight, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.